Hey team, how you going? I received a message yesterday from someone saying how they came across an article on cold showers, and I said, yes, I do that every day, and here's why I have as cold a shower as possible every day. Now, when I lived in the NT, a little caveat here, couldn't have one for about 3 years. So if you have if you live in the NT, have a tepid shower each day, or you can conversely put your hands in cold water or your feet in cold water or gargle or put your face, splash your face in cold water. Now, why have a cold shower for up to 3 minutes each day, first thing in the morning? Firstly, it increases your core temperature. When it increases your core temperature, that burns more calories, and predominantly those calories are going to be fat or stored muscle glycogen, which isn't a bad thing. When you increase your core temperature, you also stimulate the breakdown of brown fat stores. Those brown fats, when they're metabolized, then go on to increase the breakdown of adipose tissue, and which is essentially the white fat you store around your abdomen, your bottom, and all the showy bits of fat that we all don't like. So that's one of the first reasons why it's so good for you. Second reason why I have a cold shower every day is the increase or the stimulation to the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve is one of the biggest nerves in the body, and some of its core receptors are in the face. So that's why gargling for the people in the NT or splashing your face with cold water can be just as effective or almost as effective. But having a cold shower, letting the water run all over your face stimulates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve stimulates the parasympathetic response, which helps calm you down. And that vagus nerve is also responsible for stimulating and monitoring heart rate, breathing rate, as well as your digestive tract. So it's an incredibly important nerve to stimulate frequently. So gargling can do it with ice cold water. Splashing your face with ice cold water can do so, as well as having the cold shower. Next, when you have the freezing cold shower for up to 3 or 4 minutes, it stimulates the increase in cortisol and adrenaline. Now, that increase in cortisol and adrenaline, if you're hyper-stressed, like me, then that's going to help you more quickly return to a baseline of normal cortisol and adrenaline output. So the problem with constant stress is you're kind of fluttering up here, as opposed to spiking from a stress level point, then coming back down to an even baseline and then responding again to stress. So when you're hyper-stressed, you come up and you sit hyper vigilant in your stress response until you crash and burn, then you slowly build yourself back up. When you have a freezing cold shower, that's going to stimulate a big spike, but it'll quickly, because of the aforementioned factors of stimulating parasympathetic response via the vagus nerve and stimulating an increased core temperature, will drop that adrenaline and cortisol output back down to normal homeostatic levels. So it's really good in diminishing anxiety, stress, excess cortisol, etc. Now, the increased ventilation and the increased circulation from the increased heart rate, etc., and from squeezing and shivering from the cold water will increase the venous return and the circulation of your blood vessels. Now, as a result, you're going to also have an increased circulation of your lymph nodes and the fluid within your lymph nodes. And that's an incredibly important, circulatory system in your body. The lymph nodes are, if you can picture it, you have your main streets, which is your thoroughfare of all your blood vessels. Underneath the streets, you have your sewage system, and that is essentially your lymph nodes. It transports all your immune responses, or the bacteria, or your response to viruses, etc. So if we can flush that out, you're going to really help with overriding the immune response and also systemic inflammation in the body. So increasing the immune response is certainly one of the benefits of it as well. Finally, it's going to increase your pain response. Now, by increasing your pain response, it's going to also stimulate something called the insular cortex in your brain. By stimulating the insular cortex in your brain, it's going to increase your ability for endurance, for training, and it's going to help with your pain response to training. Now, for endurance, one of the mechanisms that kicks into play to stop you from dying from, say, running a marathon, you can see the marathon runners, they run as hard as they can, yet they get to that final 2 laps in the stadium and they can still accelerate. Leading up to that, a part of your brain actually reduces how much you can output in energy levels because it's trying to protect your body. It's trying to say, okay, look, buddy, you push yourself hard enough, really start to cut back. By doing things like cold showers and brain training and elevating your levels of training and how hard you push yourself, you can really readjust the level of that insular cortex and allow yourself to accept more pain, more stimulation. So having the cold shower is one of the ways you can do that. So cold shower, increase core temperature to burn more calories and brown fat, stimulate the vagus nerve, increase cortisol and adrenaline to return to base levels. It increases ventilation circulation to stimulate the lymph node circulation to clean out your immune system. And it also stimulates your ability to heighten your pain response, which means that your endurance and your ability to push through is going to improve. So, for the next month, I want you to jump in, freezing cold shower, 3 minutes every day if possible. Time yourself because you might think you're having a 3 minute shower, but essentially it's probably about 30 seconds. If you live in the NT or somewhere equally not cold, place your hands into a bucket of ice cold water or your feet, or gargle or place your face into some ice cold water and repeat that for 3 to 5 minutes and enjoy the benefits. Let me know how you go.